Season 8, Episode 19. Parable of the Two Sons, Matthew 21, 28 through 32. Well, howdy there, listeners. It's your good old friend, Sidney St. James, coming to you from the bustling city of Riverside. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from Georgetown, Texas. Welcome to Season 8 and this episode of our show, where we're spinning tales that are sweeter than iced tea on a hot summer day. Today, we've got a story about a father named James and his two sons, Mark and Ethan. That's sure to stir your heart and maybe tickle your funny bone just a bit. So, pull up a chair and let's get started. Now, James was as hard-working as a beaver in the springtime and as honorable as a saint. He had two sons, Mark and Ethan, who were as different as chili and cinnamon rolls. Now, James, bless his heart, tried to instill in them the good old values of honesty, integrity, and responsibility. One fine sunny morning, James came up to Mark, who was busier than a one-armed paper hanger with his own plans. "Son," he said, "how about you help me out at the community center today? We've got a chance to put a little shine on someone else's day." Mark, with his mind on other things, replied, "Sorry, Dad, I've got plans. Maybe next time." He was off quicker than a cat at a dog show, leaving James a mite disappointed. Then James moseyed on over to Ethan, who was grinning like a possum eating a sweet tater. "Dad," Ethan said, "count me in. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and get to work." So off went James and Ethan, working at the community center like two peas in a pod. And they painted, hammered, and laughed, turning the place into a palace of warmth and welcome. Meanwhile, Mark was hopping around town like a cricket in a box, not realizing the golden opportunity he missed to bond with his dad and brother and to make a real difference. Time marched on, and under James and Ethan's care, the community center bloomed like a bluebonnet in April. Their hard work was like water to a thirsty plant, and the place just came alive, inspiring others to join in. One evening, as Mark strolled by the community center, he saw the change. It was brighter than a new penny. Peeking inside, he saw his dad and brother, their faces lit up with joy, sharing laughter and stories with folks whose lives they had touched. A light bulb went off in Mark's head, brighter than a firework on the 4th of July. He felt a tug in his heart, a yearning to be part of something bigger than himself. And remembering the parable of the two sons, he knew it was high time to hop on the train of change. Swallowing his pride like a cowboy swallowing his chew, Mark walked in and said, "Dad, Ethan and I reckon I've been as useful as a screen door on a submarine. I'm here to help, for real this time." James and Ethan, with smiles as wide as the Texas horizon, welcomed him with open arms. And from that day on, Mark was a changed man. He worked alongside his dad and brother, and pouring his heart into every task, as eager as a puppy at playtime. Word of their work spread through Riverside like butter on hot cornbread. Folks started reevaluating their own lives, inspired by the tale of James and his sons. The community center became a beacon of hope, a place where action spoke louder than words. And the central lesson of the parable of the two sons is that true obedience and commitment are demonstrated not through words, but through actions. It emphasizes that what we do is more important than what we say we will do. The first son, despite his initial refusal, ultimately does the right thing, embodying the principle that actions speak louder than words. Additionally, the parable serves as a critique of hypocrisy. It warns against the danger of making commitments or expressing agreement without the genuine intention or follow through to act accordingly. The second son's failure to fulfill his promise reflects a disconnect between his words and his actions. Furthermore, the parable illustrates the concept of repentance and change. The first son's change of heart represents the idea that it's never too late to correct one's course and make the right decision. This aspect of the parable highlights the valuation of the reflection, repentance, and the willingness to act upon these realizations. So, dear listeners, as we wrap up our story today, let's remember to be doers, not dreamers. Let's put our words into action and make this world a little brighter for everyone. This is Sidney St. James, signing off from Riverside. And be sure to click that like button down below. It's as easy as pie and just sweet. And don't forget to hit subscribe. It's the best decision you'll make this side of the Mississippi. Tune in next week for more heartwarming stories and chuckles. Until then, see you later, alligator. And as my daughter says over in Monroe, Louisiana, after a while, crocodile. And remember, the vineyard of life be the branch that bears the sweetest grapes. Peace.